The child screams, but the language has no word for the wound. The mother weeps, but the culture has no concept for the theft. The marginalized suffer, but the lexicon is owned by the other. This is the hermeneutical gap, where the experience is real, but the articulation is impossible. Listen to the silence of the untranslatable. They've stolen the semantics of your phenomenological pain. A lexical absence where the meaning is inane. You inhabit the trauma, but the syntax isn't yours. A hermeneutic void where the narrative implores. The dominant ontology defines the epistemic field. A conceptual hegemony that refuses to yield. You suffer in the gap where the language is concealed, and the world cannot perceive what the dictionary withheld. Behold the epistemic injustice in the discursive terrain, where the subaltern experience is rendered insane. Miranda Fricka diagnosed the hermeneutical crime, a cognitive expropriation that unfolds in real time. The dominant paradigm constructs the conceptual tools, a hegemonic syntax that the powerful rules. Your suffering is pre-linguistic, a mute phenomenon, a visceral truth that the lexicon recuses and withdraws from. You search for the signifier that corresponds to your state, but the dictionary is a fortress with a guarded gate. The marginalized consciousness struggles to cohere because the language of the master makes your reality unclear. They've stolen the semantics of your phenomenological pain. A lexical absence where the meaning is inane. You inhabit the trauma, but the syntax isn't yours. A hermeneutic void where the narrative implores. The dominant ontology defines the epistemic field. A conceptual hegemony that refuses to yield. You suffer in the gap where the language is concealed, and the world cannot perceive what the dictionary withheld. Diagnose the pathogenesis of the unutterable condition, where the affective reality exceeds the cognitive provision. The child endures the violence but lacks the idiom to frame it, a hermeneutic deficit that the culture will disclaim it. The victim of the gaslight searches for the concept, but the social imaginary has the language intercept. You are wronged as a knower in your capacity to interpret a systemic obfuscation that the dominant vector's expert. The trauma is a specter without a semiotic coma, wandering signified that the lexicon disowns. You know the truth is real, but the words are a mirage, a hermeneutic prism with a conceptual entourage. Epistemic violence is a silent genocide, a cognitive annihilation where the meaning deifies. Your rage is articulate, but the language is possessed by a hegemonic discourse that leaves your truth oppressed. You struggle to name the injury that the system reproduces, a hermeneutic injustice that the status quo excuses. The dominant narrative colonizes your interior space, a semantic occupation with a totalitarian face. You rage against the void where the concept should reside, but the lexicon is barren and the metaphors have died. You must forge a new language from the ashes of the old, an emancipatory syntax that the oppressor cannot hold. They've stolen the semantics of your phenomenological pain, a lexical absence where the meaning is inane. You inhabit the trauma, but the syntax isn't yours. A hermeneutic void where the narrative implores. The dominant ontology defines the epistemic the dictionary with hell. The dictionary with hell. The gap is closing. The silence is breaking. We are forging the concepts. We are claiming the lexicon. No longer mute, no longer invisible. We name the wound. We articulate the rage. The hermeneutic injustice ends with the birth of our language.